I'm Teresa Woodard with your headlines in North Texas. We begin with a rare glimpse into the Secret Service. Our Investigates unit was given nearly unprecedented access to the agency's cyber task force in Dallas, where agents use phones, laptops, and digital devices to help local police solve crimes. Senior crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez shows us how technology is helping investigators crack cases, but also giving criminals new ways to target victims.
Inside this U.S. Secret Service lab, the evidence is often invisible at first. It may be buried in a phone, stored on a laptop, or hidden inside a device most people would never notice.
We'll extract all the data that we can from those devices, and we provide that data back to the investigators so they could further their case.
That work can touch almost every kind of criminal case because almost every part of our lives now leaves a digital trail. Federal authorities say across the nation, cybercrime is up, and the criminals are getting more sophisticated in ways to dupe the public.
They're able to clone your voice, clone your likeness, make very, very convincing pictures, convincing videos, and convincing audio. And so it's very hard to delineate between reality and something that's AI.
So the Secret Service has formed a task force with local law enforcement and DFW to train them and give them access to technology they don't have. Denton County Sheriff's investigator Scott Brandt is on the task force and says it's made a difference.
One of the very first cases that came up, it was a homicide, and it was a locked cell phone. And we were able to bring the cell phone up here and use forensic tools and able to gain access to the phone.
Brandt says digital evidence is helping find clues that didn't exist before. For example, the case of Nancy Guthrie made national headlines when she was kidnapped from her home in Arizona. Investigators were able to capture images of the suspect from an outdoor camera, even though the camera was turned off and she had no subscription. Brandt says digital evidence is hard to destroy.
We've worked on phones that were completely submerged in seawater, coke. We've seen them burned. We've seen them shot. They've all come back to life.
But the same digital world helping investigators solve crimes is also where criminals are looking for victims.
Just be very apprehensive about numbers you don't recognize. Bad actors will use a lot of threat tactics to make sure that they pressure the victim into cooperation, and their goal is to receive money.
The Secret Service says the digital world has become a crime scene of its own, where evidence is found, victims are targeted, and crimes can begin with a single click. In Dallas, I'm Rebecca Lopez.
The city of Dallas unveiled new rainbow-colored steps outside the Oak Lawn Public Library. They are in response to Governor Abbott's directive ordering cities to remove political designs from Texas roads or lose federal transportation funds. That forced the rainbow crosswalks that had lined Oak Lawn streets for many years to be scrubbed away. City leaders say this shows support for the LGBTQ community remains.
I want you to understand that this is not just about having these steps outside of this library, but it was putting the throttle down to send a message not only to Austin, but to you.
The steps match the ones that are now outside Oak Lawn United Methodist Church. Those also were painted in response to the governor's directive. It has been a few months since Painted Tree boutiques suddenly closed, leaving small businesses across North Texas without a place to sell. Now, some are getting a fresh start in North Richland Hills. The Hive Collective opened over the weekend inside the same building that once housed Painted Tree. Organizers tell us the building owners moved quickly after learning about the sudden closure, and days later, the Hive was created. The general manager was excited to see the parking lot packed with customers.
They have come out, they've supported, they have thanked us for opening back up, and they're shopping. They are spending money and they want to watch this thrive.
The North Richland Hive Collective is open 7 days a week. Sadly, several animal shelters are in urgent need of help across North Texas. As Richard Solomon reports, the overcrowding is so bad that in some cases they are housing dogs outdoors.
The barks you hear are calls of hope. Hope someone soon will take them home.
Woo! Get it! Good girl.
And that's also the hope of Pat Rodriguez. She comes to the shelter often to volunteer.
It's something I look forward to every day, and when I don't come, I kind of feel bad.
The cries you also hear are of overcrowding.
It's heartbreaking because You know, they're innocent animals.
We are 159% overcapacity for dogs and 102% overcapacity for cats.
Jennifer Smith is with Dallas Animal Services. She says they're way over capacity after 3 crucial rescues. Right now, more than 480 dogs are in the shelter, and they're not alone. The city of Fort Worth says its Silcox and Henry's animal campuses are both over capacity. A spokesperson says many of the dogs have been housed in temporary outdoor kennels.
Every animal that leaves opens up a space for another one to come in.
The shelter needs volunteers like Rodriguez, who play a huge part in helping. Whether that's fostering the dogs or taking them on walks, they're preparing them for adoption, and this can save their lives.
It doesn't deter me because I know that's when my help is more needed.
And it leaves these furry friends jumping for joy. In Dallas, I'm Richard Solomon.
Sweethearts. A popular barbecue spot in Cedar Hill has closed its doors for good. Mija Barbecue started as a backyard dream in 2019. It quickly became a destination for delicious tacos and barbecue. The owner tells us after years of growth, business started to slow down in October, and then rising prices made it difficult to get back on their feet.
I mean, when I started this, you could get good brisket for $2.50 a pound. Now $6 a pound. If I can't afford it, and then I also can't afford to sell it for what I need to, and they can't already afford it for where it's at, it's a downward spiral, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Mija Barbecue officially shut its doors late Saturday night. A professional matchmaker was suddenly in need of a match of her own. As Mitty Hicks reports, she found the life-saving help close to home.
People think you are like a unicorn.
For 15 years, Jennifer Gowans has been in the business of finding the perfect match for everyone else.
So I can match you on paper, you know, as far as what I think would be compatible, but then those two people, the chemistry's got to be there.
She was diagnosed with stage 5 kidney disease and learned that finding a kidney donor works a lot like finding love. You can't just want it.
To be a kidney donor, you first of all have to be able to qualify for it.
Her son and husband both stepped up, but this matchmaker had to screen out her only child.
For my son, I was like, you have 2 boys. Our family history is diabetes and all these different things, so high blood pressure is in our family too, so I didn't want him to worry about that.
But her husband had everything she needed, O-type blood and a clean bill of health, so they thought. He was denied the first time.
The elevated levels of high blood pressure, they wouldn't be able to have him as a donor.
But he retested, and this time it was a perfect match.
And I was also overwhelmed and overcome with emotion. I'm a person who don't have no problem showing this emotion.
The woman who spent 15 years making matches for strangers finally got the one that mattered most.
I joke and said we're already soulmates, like we didn't know you could get any closer than this, for him actually giving you an organ.
The couple's double surgery will take place here at Baylor Hospital in September. And when you ask Jennifer what she's looking forward to the most, she says hanging with her friends and her grandkids. In Dallas, I'm Mitty Hicks.
Good luck to them. Those are your headlines from North Texas.